What do we know so far about this?
So Beijing is asking its EV brands, its auto brands, to do two things here. It's to not create full-blown factories overseas, and also not to export key EV technologies abroad. So these are two very key drivers here. And then also on top of that, why they don't want them to have full-blown factories abroad is to use the capacity, to use the jobs at home that have been created in order to better utilise the production and output, and also to keep more of the jobs really at home. Now, this really comes as a meeting was held with around a dozen car makers back in July. And so, therefore, with this meeting, these directives and these soundings that Beijing gave is also just to tell car makers really what it prefers, it wants to do. So this is an important signal. But this really all comes at a time when these car makers, these automakers, these EV makers are pushing abroad already. They've made massive factory commitments overseas, whether it be in Hungary, whether it be in Turkey or Spain. And so there's been a lot of commitments already being made. And so, therefore, how the car makers now have to balance that with what Beijing wants is another matter.
Yeah, well, what are the plans there now? I mean, have you heard from any of these car makers and what impact it could have on these expansion plans that are already in place?
So these car makers are not commenting on the meeting, and so the backdrop is whether these commitments can still go ahead, but also these overseas investments, which for these car makers are important in the locations because they also have a kind of political significance. These are countries almost more friendly towards China, right? So these are important as these kind of investments are a political tool overall. So this meeting did actually say that Beijing doesn't want to see investment, for example, in India because of tensions that have been ongoing, and also in places like Turkey, which decided to slap increased tariffs on foreign automakers. They also said, Beijing said, we don't necessarily want you to commit straight away. Let us know in advance. So there's lots of things going on, especially as the subject around tariffs continues to boil on.